Lapurdiko maki dantza.
Kaixo lagun, ni Jon Izurza deizen naiz. Hemen gaude Elkon, berrogeta hamargarren festa ospatzen. Eta elkar ondoan, nera adiskidea.
Gene Flesher, nice.
All right, now we give you the subtitles. Hello, I'm Johnny Sursa. I'm a Basque originally from Boise, Idaho. And here, though, in Elko as part of this 50th anniversary celebration.
And I'm Gene Flesher from Salt Lake City, Utah.
In 1959, some area Basques got together with the idea, should we try to form a club? And then, amazingly, because sometimes to get Basques to work together can be problematical, the idea took. And then a few years after that, they had the good fortune of building this Basque clubhouse. But what made that clubhouse and a lot of the events possible was this weekend celebration that they purposely chose to do on the 4th of July weekend because they wanted to acknowledge the great opportunities they had here in the United States.
My name is Ramon Sugasaga. I'm the president, so I in charge the whole deal. So we're doing the barbecue today. We're going to have a lamb, rice, paella we call, Spanish rice, and Basque beans and salad. And the home, it's, like 4th of July here in the home is like Easter Sunday. We call Averi Una for us, but in the United States, in Elko, we celebrate 4th of July weekend.
We're very fortunate to have neighbors who are willing to allow us to continue with our traditions and even more want to celebrate with us.
And the other thing is this weekend we actually have 2 events going on. So we have the National Basque Festival. This is 50 years of it going, which has always been open to the Americans and trying to show the Basque culture to everything. But it's also the NABL Convention, which is the national organization, and that's why we have so many groups here from out of town enjoying that. It's with a kind of a binary function this weekend.
Well, my name is Teresa Franzoya Anacabe. I was born and raised in Elko, Nevada. I was fortunate enough that my mother, who married an Italian from California, it was really important for her, for us to learn how to speak Basque, because she grew up in a household where both of her parents always spoke Basque to her, and so she grew up learning that language, she wanted to carry it on. So me, and I'm the oldest of 4. And all of us speak the language and understand it. We actually did a year of school over there in elementary.
The core of the Basque culture ultimately comes down to the language. The Basque name for themselves is Euskal Jaiak, which loosely translates into those who speak Basque. That's how historically Basques define themselves. So it's always been one of the key elements, but it's always been very difficult outside of the Basque country and in some instances in the Basque country to keep this minority language alive. Any language with less than 1 million speakers, the United Nations lists that language as endangered. The Basque language was put on that list potentially as being endangered, but it's one of the few languages now that's actually seeing a resurgence. More and more younger folks are learning the language. Yes, in the Basque country, but we're happy to say also here in the United States. There's a concentrated effort on behalf of the North American Basque organizations to collaborate with locals and promoting Basque learning opportunities.
Here at San Francisco, you here? Doesn't sound like it.
I think they're still at the casino.
And another home run.
My name is Gracian Echeverria. I'm first generation Basque from San Francisco. And so both my parents were born over there, and we've been coming to Elko for the 4th of July off and on. Well, I'm 31 years old, and so off and on for 31 years.
I'm Bob Echeverria. I'm 41-year resident of Elko, 41 years of Basque Festival. Even though this is the 50th Basque Festival, I'm still a new kid on the block. 6 times past president of the Elko Basque Club, 7 times past president of the North American Basque Organization. All my sons danced and all their children danced, and I have one son that is fluent in Basque.
I started dancing when I was, I think, 4 years old for the Elko Basque dancers here in Elko. And I have danced with them. I danced with them until I was about 18, I want to say. And then when I went off to college, I studied a year and abroad and was able to perform with a group over in the Basque Country. So that was a great experience. Yeah. And then I came back and I was teaching the high school group for 2 years, I believe. And then I ended up making the move up to Boise, and I've been up there for the past 4 years performing with the Boise Oankati Basque dancers. I am like the roaming dancer. I have helped dance groups. Obviously, I've danced with Elko, I've danced with Boise, I've helped Salt Lake's dance group, I've danced with San Francisco.
Every dance has a little subject line to it, and so do all the songs. And the songs they're basically like everyday life, you know, making cheese or falling in love with the neighbor's daughter, it's just like very simple things, but from a long time ago. So they involve mostly around farming or fishing and stuff like that people did in the Basque Country for centuries.
It's called Gorulari. It is the weaver's dance. In the dance style, there's a lot of crossing. It's supposed to mimic the weaving of cloth and represent intertwining lives and people you meet. It's from Vizcaya, which is on the Spanish side of the Basque Country. There's a lot of them that the boys do in particular are more military drills and stuff.
And you can tell from the music.
Exactly. And they were used to train the guys, help them with their mental preparedness and their physical. And there's patterns to the dances that they had to memorize. So that's part of it. And the other ones are more like harvest rituals and stuff to clear the bugs and all of the bad spirits away. And so they're scaring them by hitting the sticks together.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have wood chopping, weightlifting. We've got 7 dance groups here from all over the United States. We've got homegrown musicians. So we have a center of culture here, music, dance, food. That's what it's all about.
See, the 3 most important questions for Basques is number 1, who are the Basques? Number 2, where do they come from? And number 3, where are we going to dinner?
I play handball, one of the Basque sports, amongst other Basque sports, but I also am big into food and making your own food and raising your own animals. And lots of Basque people they come from farming backgrounds, as were my parents. We make different kinds of sausages. One is chorizo, which involves just pork meat and different kinds of red peppers and garlic and salt and pepper. Another kind is blood sausage. Then we have a third kind, lukenka, which is basically like chorizo but without red pepper. 5 years ago, I won the California Championship, and I won that one, and that was the most proud my dad has ever been of me. I graduate college, finished grad school, nothing. And I win the chorizo competition, and he's like calling all his friends, and so it's very funny. But it is a family tradition, yeah. I've been playing handball since I was 5 years old. The basic premise of the game is that one team serves the ball to the other team, and it's usually you play 2-on-2, but it can be played 1-on-1. So you serve ball and it has to bounce in between the 4 and the 7. And if it bounces in front of the 4, then it's a point for the other team. But if it bounces behind the 7, then you get to serve again. It's like a fault, like in tennis. You use your hand, the palm, so you get bruises, bone bruises. The ball's really hard.
Jesus Lopetegui, they call me Jazz here, and I've been here in this country for 56 years now. And I came as a shipowner on contract. We're talking about this oven that we can see right here. It came from a ship camp. It's up there in the Columbia Basin, about 90 miles north of here. This oven was built about 1954. As a matter of fact, on this first National Basque Festival in 1964, I baked 18 loaves of bread on that oven the day before. We do it with yeast now, like in the old times they'll do it sourdough. When it rises, and then we set it on Dutch oven, and we pull out all the coals and everything out of it. All I use is flour and 1 package of yeast, and a spoonful of salt, a couple of sugar, and maybe 2 or 3 spoonfuls of oil. Sagebrush is the best wood for it, but they'll burn anything. But sagebrush is the one that does best. It's hot, and then the flakes are good. And
raffle off was the championship bread, baked by Jess Lopetegui. And it's going to be like Father, don't be bashful with your $20 bills. For the bread contest, all the proceeds go to the Euskal Jaiak. They're going to buy new costumes.
This is the traditional, the most common, I guess. It's the poshpolina. It's more the, not quite peasant, but it's like the nice Sunday outfit. Normally you'll see it with the albarkak, which are leather-laced shoes.
I noticed a difference in the scarves. Is that also...
No, this is...
just what you feel like wearing,
yeah, exactly.
basically?
It's to kind of make it not so uniformed, I guess. But
so that there's some individuality
exactly
within the dance group.
And that way, if you can't find a certain scarf or pattern anymore, you're able to just continue gathering more and adding them to the groups. I'm also a musician for the group, so yeah. Called the chistu. It is now typically made of plastic, but it's unique. It has 3 holes only, and it's accompanied by a drum, and the same person that's playing the chistu plays the drum normally, and they use that a lot for processions, and there's different music for all of the different towns and whatnot, and so certain areas use the chistu more, and some use like the accordion more often. There's also an alboka, and it's a 2-horned instrument with 2 reeds, and it requires circular breathing. It sounds like a bagpipe without the bag, and we actually have people in the States that play all of those instruments, so it's unique for us and a great experience to keep on the music tradition as well.
Oh, they have the chingara carrying, which you'll see in like almost all the Basque picnics. They used to do it with milk pails full of milk, big heavy ones, and basically these are 45 kilos each, so it's like 90 pounds on each hand that you're carrying at your side, and you got to go back and forth like 100 meters, and so you go around and back and forth, and whoever can carry it for the longest distance wins.
We encourage our children to learn the language and to learn the dances and to perpetuate it beyond my generation and theirs.
I've just been brought up in a community that is so Basque that it's just part of who I am. Like, I'm very well known, especially in Elko, as a Basque person. Growing up here, going to high school, everyone was like, oh yeah, Teresa's going to be at the Basque Festival. It's just part of who I am. I think that's part of why I moved up to Boise, because they have a really strong Basque community up there as well.
Yes,
that it wasn't as big of a change, and I had a good group of friends, and I was able to keep dancing, which I love to do, and learn more, and hopefully I'll be able to bring it back. Keep teaching it to the younger generations and encourage them to keep going.
horregatik. Ondo ibili.
That's a full rainbow as well. Yeah. There's no pot of gold there. It's just a plate of chorizo.